You're doing yourself and Tom an injustice. I mean, this extra time on campus, it really is lectures. I'm waist deep in prison studies and he's had to take over.
And if that wasn't the case, you'd let me know, of course.
Let's try it the other way. I mean, what evidence do you have that he might be playing around?
My dear Peter, I've no evidence whatsoever. If I had evidence, reasonable evidence, that Tommy was playing around, do you know what I'd do? I'd kill both him and the floozy he was knocking off.
You're just being provocative.
Am I?
I must say, Carol, a statement like that gives a man a real sense of security.
I'm so glad, darling. Just keep it in mind.
It has been alleged that you have had an involvement with a woman inmate of this prison.
Alleged by whom?
One of the prisoners.
It's a lie.
It has also been alleged that you received a phone call from a prisoner who left jail this morning and made an appointment to see her.
Alleged by Miss Bennett?
That is correct.
Is this the same Miss Bennett whose job I took when I was transferred here?
That is not the issue. The switchboard operator knew Crabtree from the prison. She believes she was the caller.
Well, it's obvious I'm being set up. I'll save my comments for the inquiry.
I had hoped we could settle this ourselves, that there might have been a mistake. I would also point out that I am very well aware there is a difference between arranging to meet an ex-prisoner and actually doing so. I shall seek further advice from the department in the morning. In the meantime, I have no alternative but to suspend you forthwith.
You're a bit of a letdown. Where's Fletcher the Ledge? Off sick, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah? Well, what's happened to him?
None of your business. Come on, out you get.
You're new here, aren't you?
So?
Well, I'll tell you how it works. You tell me, and I tell them. That way no one gets it wrong. No embroidery, no fancy theories, and nothing to boil up and start trouble.
You're Smith, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right.
Mr. Fletcher wasn't on duty last night, that's all I know.
Hey, did Erica haul him in for questioning?
Who's Erica?
You don't know much, do you? Anytime you want to run down on what goes on in Wentworth, just come to me. No appointment necessary. No, don't thank me. It's my pleasure.
So you made it.
Deal's a deal.
Even with a common slut like me, eh? That's what you call me, innit?
You've been called that before.
You really got a great act, you know that? I mean, you come on like Billy Graham. I never would have dreamed you're up for sale.
That depends on the price.
Yeah, well, I've been meaning to speak to you about that. You're asking too much.
We split it down the middle, 50-50.
You expect 65 grand for picking up a key?
Oh, you're going to need me for more than that. You're going to have problems you don't even know about yet.
Like what? The Ferguson bitch can't get me out of here?
She's not going to be inside forever. Neither will your friend Bruce. You shopped him, remember? And what about Joyce Martin's scaly mates? If they ever find out that that payroll money's in your hands...
And yours.
Well, I'm glad you see it my way.
Anyway, how do I know this isn't a plant? You could be setting me up.
Oh, come on, would I even be here if I wasn't for real? I'm laying my job on the line. I've only got to be seen with you and I've lost
Yeah, sure. But I don't know you real well, do I? I mean, I know you're good looking. And sexy. Bet. But that's all I know. I got to get to know you much better.
I haven't got time.
Well, I know a way of getting to know you real fast. And real well. I booked a motel. It's just around the corner.
I'm in it for the money, Denise.
Well, then you're getting a bonus, aren't you? I wonder. My friends call me Blossom. Well, are you coming? We're just going to sit there and let it rain on you. I mean, I wouldn't like a partner that didn't know enough to come in out of the rain.
Where's the key?
Oh, afterwards, honey. Afterwards.
Not a bad set of wheels. One of the advantages of marrying for money.
Now, do me a favour, mate. Don't say that in front of Carol.
Still having trouble?
She's worse than ever. She needs treatment. No matter what I say, she won't believe I love her.
Well, as women can do nothing except love, they've given it a ridiculous importance.
No, that's not one of yours.
Somerset Maugham.
Oh, puffed her.
Still, it's got more than a grain of truth in it. I mean, if a woman like Carol had had something more to do, she might be less obsessive.
At 36, no training, spots since the cradle. What can she do, mate?
Good morning, Miss Bennett. Nice bright day.
For those who have time to enjoy it.
Is she typical?
Not really.
Looks like a raving les to me.
No, she's 100% woman, our Vera. Frustrated woman, but woman nevertheless.
Well, she can stay frustrated for mine.
You mean you're differentiating now? I thought if it moved, you threw it on the bed.
That was the old Tom Burton. You're talking to a reformed man.
Incredible.
Seriously, Peter, I've been thinking over what you said the other night about Carol. Look, if my little hobbies affect her that much, perhaps I ought to ease off.
Good thinking.
You think she's near the edge?
What do you reckon?
Yeah. Well, I guess I give the girls their cards.
Simple as that.
There's nothing cosmic going on. Just the usual slap and tickle. See ya.
Bye.
How did it go? Any problems? No, quiet enough. I had a few words with B. Smith. Oh, she's got a nerve, that one. There's only one place for Smith, under the thumb. Hope I've got the thumb for it.
She didn't give you any trouble?
No, not really. She just wanted to know where Jim Fletcher was.
You didn't tell her?
Well, I couldn't, could I? I don't know. Where is he, anyhow?
He's gone. Suspended.
No. What'd he do?
Tampered with one of the girls.
Oh, he'd be hard up. Which one was it?
Well, Smith said he was on with Denise Crabtree, but you can't believe anything she says. We know he made a date with the woman after she got out. That was enough for the governor.
I should hope so.
What did they expect, putting a man in charge of female prisoners, and a man separated from his wife, too?
Like putting Dracula in charge of a blood bank.
Exactly. It's the last time he'll mess around with any of the women here.
Hey, lover, your beer's getting flat. Well, thank heavens for that. You certainly took your time in there.
Where's the key?
You really think that performance was worth 65,000?
Well, a deal's a deal.
Mind you've had worse, but 65,000?
The key?
Do you even gonna ask me how I feel?
I don't give a damn how you feel. I just want the key.
You're supposed to be nice to Blossom. Now come back to bed and earn it.
I want the key.
Stop it, you're hurting me.
Then stop stalling.
Let me think about it.
You haven't got the time. I lost my job because of you. Now, don't play games with a man that's got nothing to lose. It's just not worth it.
You said you were risking your job. You never said you'd lost it.
I was suspended last night.
Then you're no use to me. Not anymore. You can't get into Wentworth any more than I can. In fact, I could get in a damn sight easier than you.
I said I was suspended. I can still get in there.
Oh, they'd be watching you all the time. You'd never get the key.
Well, perhaps you'd like to go and get it then. I mean, that can be arranged easily enough. I can just get on that phone, tell the cops you've got 130,000 from an armoured car robbery stashed away somewhere. You'd be back inside Wentworth before you knew what hit you.
No.
Changed your mind.
We'll share it.
Go on.
Well, I had the key. I was going to smuggle it out. I had it hidden where they couldn't find it. And that Vera bitch, she had a metal detector.
And?
Well, I went to the toilets and put down one of the cisterns.
Right.
How are you going to get the key out of Wentworth?
That's not going to be a problem.
Don't try
try and con the new officer, Smith. We've already put her in the picture.
Me, con? Now, what did I say? I'm only trying to help. I always try and help out the new screws, Vera.
You put any holes in those sheets, Martin, and you'll end up paying for them.
There's one thing you can say, Joyce. Screws may come and screws may go, but we'll always have our Miss Bennett.
And you'll have me for a long time yet.
Seems like Fletcher chickened out. Barely here and he was gone again.
Well, he shouldn't have been sent here in the first place.
So he has gone.
What if he has?
It was a bit sudden, wasn't it?
Yeah. Large as life 1 minute, next just a fragrant memory. I wonder what he did.
I heard he got one of the warders up the duff.
Yeah? Which one?
He was sacked for socialising with a prisoner. It had nothing to do with any prison officer.
Now what did I tell you?
Oh, I don't think we took your word for it, Smith. The information came from a far more reliable source.
Hey, who'd he knock off?
Oh, who was always hanging around his neck? Crabtree, of course.
That was only because Monica was out to flatten her, wasn't it?
Well, you wouldn't think that dumb mole had anything he wanted, would you?
Depends on what he wanted.
Well, what's she got the rest of us haven't got?
A key. A key to a safety deposit box.
I thought he had it.
Oh, he probably has got it now. That bloody con, she took it out with her. Oh, can't you see? That's why he was trying to climb into her pants when she was in here.
Well, you might be right. Nothing you can do about it now, is there?
Oh, isn't there? To make sure that lousy Fletcher doesn't get away with it.
Oh, dear. What do you want?
I hear you've got a real talent, Martha. I hear you can get messages to the outside.
Who says?
I says it. Because I know who got Lynn Warner snatched when she got out of here. Of course, you grabbed the wrong girl, but that wasn't your fault, was it? I mean, nobody's perfect.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yes, you do. You meant them to snatch Monica Ferguson before she could get her hands on all that lovely loot. Now, that's something I think Monty might be real interested to know. That you'd planned to nick off with it before she got her cut.
You can't prove nothing. And besides, it was Julie.
Oh, I've dealt with Julie. Julie and the lads are nicely tucked away. But it was you who fixed things with Jules, wasn't it?
You say that again and I'll thump you.
Oh, all right. No need to get nasty. Just want to ask a little favour, that's all.
What?
You use that great intellect of yours to get a message out to my useless husband.
And what if I don't?
If you don't, I'll have a little chat with Monica. And B.
I could try, I suppose.
And you'll succeed, won't you? You tell Harry that Jim Fletcher is after the loot, you got it?
I can't use the phone unless I chat up one of the screws. And there's got to be something for me in this.
Detective Grace, please. Yes, it is urgent and important. Detective Grace? My name's Jim Fletcher. Oh, it's about that payroll robbery. Well, most of the stolen money is hidden in a safety deposit box, but the key to it's hidden in the Wentworth Detention Centre. Because I'm the deputy governor there. Yeah. Well, it's in a cistern in the prisoner's toilet block. Ground floor. Should have no difficulty finding it. Well, the prisoner concerned is Mrs. Joyce Martin. It was her husband who did the job. Right. Well, I'll hear from you then. Yeah, right.
Who's that?
Here.
What's that for?
Services rendered.
I wasn't hustling. That was just something between friends. Did you buy me something nice, eh?
Buy yourself a plane ticket out of here.
Where are we going?
You're going.
What do you mean? You're coming too.
Don't hold your breath.
Oh, you'll come. Now that you know what Blossom's got to offer, you'll be back for a second helping.
I warned you, Denise. I was only in it for the money.
Well, now you can have everything. Me and the money.
Forget it, Denise. The only ones that are going to get that money is the cops. I've just told them everything.
Are you nuts or something? How'd you do that for?
The reward.
You bastard, you set me up. You used me.
No more than you deserved, honey. Now, come on, take the money and get out of here.
Keep your lousy money. You can't do this to me. Look, I'll tell the cops. I'll tell them you raped me in Wentworth. You'll never get back in there.
Look, I'm doing you a favour. Now, have some sense. Take the money and run.
Oh, and let you get off scot-free.
Oh, come on, you're getting off easy. If you hang around here, you'll only end up back in Wentworth. And you know who's waiting for you there.
How's the governess?
Governess?
Well, much too feminine to be called the governor.
Governor I am, and governor I shall continue to be. Though I'm sure there must be easier ways of earning a living.
Why'd you choose it?
It chose me. One of these days, when I have 6 weeks to spare, I shall explain.
You could have given me the first instalment last night at dinner.
I had more on my plate than dinner with you last night, my dear fellow.
Overtime again?
The governor doesn't do overtime. The governor does her duty.
But you were working late.
Yes.
Crisis?
I suppose you could call it that.
Stop being enigmatic.
I had to suspend one of my staff.
Who?
Jim Fletcher.
But I thought he was 300% gung-ho. What did he do? Knock one of your women around?
Not exactly.
You're joking. I can't see him risking his career for a piece of skirt.
Come in.
Doctor?
Ah, Detective Grace. You wanted to see me?
Yes, Mrs. Davidson. I'd like permission to search your toilet block.
Of course, but why?
Well, your Mr. Fletcher has given us certain information about a payroll job.
Well, I'm sure you won't find it in there.
No, but we might find the key to the whole situation.
You're not coming to bed? Then why are you here?
For conversation.
That's a switch.
A serious conversation, love. It's about my marriage.
You're getting a divorce?
No. There have been problems.
Oh, nothing that you won't solve, Tomcat?
Now, I'm not getting through to you, am I?
If it's bad news, I don't want to hear it.
Carol hasn't been well.
Well, who is? I mean, with pollution and cigarettes and chemical
Look,
additives?
love, if you won't listen, you won't learn. Carol isn't well, and I've got to spend all my time with her. All of it.
None for me.
The forsaking all others clause has come up.
But you were forsaking all others for me. Tom, you're not leaving me.
I'm sorry. I'm desperately sorry, love. But as of now, it's over.
I won't let you go.
I'm not seeing you anymore.
Well, I've got something here that says you will.
Rot. I never wrote letters.
Oh, they're not letters. Guess who's been on candid camera?
Who took these?
I set up a little remote control device.
You photograph very well. Why, Belinda?
Oh, a little prezi for your wife.
She's seen me doing this.
But not with me. She won't like you doing it with me.
I never thought you were like this.
I knew what you were like. You're a coward. You want everything easy. That's why you won't leave your rich wife. Well, it's not going to be that easy, Tomcat.
You know, we could use him in the force, your Mr. Fletcher. We still have to find out how he obtained his information. When's he due back on duty?
He isn't. He's under suspension.
Oh? What for?
Oh, really, Inspector, for good and sufficient reason. He wantonly abused a position of great responsibility.
One of the girls, you mean? Seems out of character. I might tell you in confidence, we had him checked out. He's as clean as a whistle.
I thought so, too, until he admitted meeting a woman who had been in this prison.
Really, Mrs. Davidson, if I got a blast every time I met an ex-crim, we'd never get anything. You got it?
Just where he said it'd be.
Now we find the bank.
And the depositor.
You can tell your Mr. Fletcher he's home and hosed with a reward.
There was a reward?
Oh, yes, they're offering 10%. $140,000 missing, that makes $14,000 reward.
You were the first man I ever had, Tom. The very first.
I doubt it.
I love you so much.
You've got a hell of a way of showing it.
But that's only to stop you leaving me.
You thought this would stop me? Well, after this, I couldn't get out of here fast enough.
No, you're mine. You're not hers. You're mine.
I've always been hers. She's my wife. You were an entertainment.
But you loved me.
I liked you. Look, I'm sorry, but you're just another uni student looking for excitement. Damn it, sex with me is an integral part of the first year's course. Didn't you know that?
No, I didn't.
You see, I'm just a lovable louse. Oh, now you know you won't want a bar of me.
No. But you're not getting out of it that cheaply. You're going to pay. I want money, heaps of it.
Oh. So that's how you price your injured feelings.
Yes. You made me love you. And unless I get the dough, those are going to be spread all over the university.
You sweet old-fashioned girl, you. That would make me the most popular man on campus. Do you really think anyone would take any notice?
Your wife would.
Now, so we're back to that, are we? You send any copies to anybody and I'll have you for blackmail. And damn the consequences!
Sorry. Did you get through to Harry?
No, he's in cold storage.
What?
They picked him up in Adelaide on a drunken driving charge.
Oh, the bloody fool. Do they know he's wanted here?
They're sure to. They're not stupid.
There goes my chances of getting the dough back from that lousy screw.
Yeah, him and Blossom will be spending up big.
That's not funny.
Oh, that money's caused enough strife. Good riddance, I say.
Yeah, that's because you didn't have a slice of the pie.
You got a big enough slice.
And I intend to keep it. Fred might have got away with 8,000, but I've still got 10 stashed away.
Where hubby can't find it.
Fred, he's in jail. I'll be out before he is, my dear.
Why didn't you keep me informed?
I hadn't any evidence. Besides, it looked better when you had to sack me. The Crabtree woman mightn't have confided in a prison officer in good standing.
What exactly was your relationship with Crabtree?
I gained her confidence by protecting her against Ferguson.
It has been suggested that you did more than that.
Then somebody has an overheated imagination. My behaviour within this prison has been perfectly correct.
Where is the young woman now?
I've got no idea.
Well, the police will want to question her, surely.
She knew nothing about the robbery. She only knew where the key was hidden.
I see. Well, the proper course was for you to tell me of your suspicions, surely.
Mrs. Davidson, had I taken the proper course, that money would never have been recovered.
Nor would you have earned the reward.
That's a point.
I assume you needed the money badly. I see. Well, I can't say I admire your methods, but they seem to have worked. This leaves your suspension.
Under the circumstances, I don't think any inquiry would sack me. Do you?
You can't trust him out of your sight. Man, if it isn't drink.
It's women.
Ferguson, you're wanted in the interview room.
Who by?
The police.
Money talks, they say. And as all those notes were recorded, it was very easy for us to trace the money back to the payroll robbery. And when I showed your mugshot to the teller, he fell on it like an old friend. Now, do you have any comment?
Ferguson, you were asked a question.
I'll have to charge her. Monica Ferguson, I officially charge you with being an accessory after the fact to an armed robbery. You'll be held here pending the date of your trial.
So what? You got your money, didn't you?
All but 12,000.
So why can't you settle for what you've got?
Because we're mean bastards, and we want it all. And you'll cop another year in jail for this. And she thinks she'll be able to spend it when she gets out. You know the old man?
I think he's in Pentridge.
Yeah. Yeah, we thought Fred was involved in the robbery. Till we met a loudmouth called Harry Martin, who wanted to take all the credit. And no slur intended, Mrs. Ferguson, but your Fred isn't exactly mastermind material now, is he? Of course, with Fred not being involved in the robbery, he's going to get out long before you do. And plenty of time to find the money and spend it on another woman. Unless, of course, you tell us where it is first, which may mean a reduction in your sentence.
All right, all right. It's not much of a bloody choice, is it?
He's been reinstated.
He was never sacked, just suspended. I could hardly sack him for helping the police.
Don't you mean helping himself? All he seemed interested in was the reward.
I don't think I should be discussing one of my officers like this, Peter. Why are you so interested in Jim Fletcher, anyway?
There's a type you never see these days. Soldier of the Queen, my lads. Not the current Queen, either.
He is a little old-fashioned in his outlook.
Old-fashioned? He is a throwback. An empire builder without an empire to build. Reduced to working in a woman's prison. They should have had him running Pentridge. Yes, he was at Pentridge, wasn't he?
I have work to do. How about you?
All right. I suppose his file's in here.
You won't find anything in the files, Peter. All staff files are kept at the department.
Pity. I could use some background information on the staff to evaluate the prisoner's response to them.
I'm sure they won't mind talking to you. I am rather busy.
Okay, I'm going. Thanks for the coffee.
Any pain in the centre of your chest or your left arm?
Not to speak of.
There is some pain, eh?
Oh, you get used to aches and pains when you get to my age, Doc. When are you going to let me out of here?
Getting bored, are you, Lizzie?
Well, it's not exactly Smith Street on a Saturday night.
What on earth went on in Smith Street?
Oh, you're too young to know. Tuppence by cable tram to Smith Street it was. Edie knows. She's the only one who remembers.
Is that what you two talk about? Hijinks on the cable trams?
Oh, plenty to talk about. Old times. Oh, come on, Doc. When are you going to let me out?
All right. But you've got to promise me that you're going to take it easy. Do you understand?
I promise.
Take it easy and keep your pills with you at all times.
How do you have your coffee? Milk and sugar?
Thanks.
I hear you'll be leaving us in a few days, Edie.
Yes.
Drink up your coffee while it's nice and hot.
Thank you.
Is anything wrong?
No, it's just hot.
Have you anywhere to go when you get out? No friends or relatives that might take you in?
They've taken away my pension.
Beg your pardon?
I said they've taken away my pension.
Oh, well, there's no need to worry about that. I'll talk to the welfare people, and they'll have it made up for you on the day you get out. Now, do you have any ideas on accommodation? Drink up your coffee while it's hot. I've seen a few old people's homes, most of them run by religious organizations, but unfortunately they have a waiting list as long as your arm. What I'd really like to do is place you in a nursing home.
I've only got my pension.
I know. And unfortunately, your pension doesn't stretch the average nursing home.
I'll be all dressed up and nowhere to go.
No, you won't. I'll find you something. A nice clean room with a gas ring or maybe a boarding house. Now, which would you prefer? Do you feel up to doing your own cooking?
Get 3 meals a day here.
Yes.
Nice clean bed. I haven't had a single bite since I've been here.
I'll do the best I can, Edie.
Thanks. Oh, you're a good girl. Could I go and see Lizzie?
Of course. There you go.
I had hair like yours once.
I see Jim Fletcher's back on the duty roster.
There was a short suspension.
Well, it makes our situation impossible. Absolutely impossible.
No worse than it was, surely.
Yes, because now he knows that he can get away with anything. He knows Erica's too damn weak to stand up to him.
Well, I suppose what he did was for the best, but I don't know. How he can expect to gain control of the women after associating with Denise Crabtree beats me.
Strictly in the line of duty, according to Detective Grace.
Well, the women won't believe that. If he knew the key was hidden in the toilet block, why didn't he report it to Erica? Why go to the police first?
That way he gets the reward, $14,000. Well, that's what the police said.
No wonder he took the risk. That's a lot of money.
Not enough to risk your career over. I never liked him, but at least I used to respect him.
Well, we don't know how badly he needed the money.
Aren't you dressed yet? It's the middle of the afternoon, you know.
I haven't been well.
What's the matter? You got a fever?
Oh, it's okay. I'm all right.
Aren't you going to invite me in?
I'm not dressed for visitors.
Visitors?
I'm still your husband, you know.
Oh, I don't want to see anyone. I'm tired. They've been piling extra work on me, and I just want to go back to bed.
Yeah, that's what I came to talk to you about. There's no need to worry about work anymore. I got the money, lots of money.
Well, where did you get it?
What does that matter? I mean, the point is I've got it, enough to look after you and the kids.
Oh, I didn't say we were coming back.
Hang on, you said that our only problem was financial. Well, I've solved the problem. So why won't you come back?
I'll think about it.
Think about what?
Look, I'm tired, Jim. I don't want to talk about it now.
Yeah, well, I do.
Who is it, Leila? Any problems?
Oh, it's nobody, Bob. It's okay.
And who's nobody?
How's the thesis going?
Chugging along. You know, the charming thing about the criminal mind is the touching belief that crime actually pays. Never occurs to them that the wages of sin are usually pitifully small.
Unless you're into sin in a big way.
Ah, yes, but for that you need more intelligence than I've seen displayed here at Wentworth. I can understand the criminal mind, Karen, but I can't begin to understand the mind of the warders.
No progress, huh?
Not much. That little project on the staff is proving to be very slow work. You don't get through those defences in a hurry. They must have plenty to cover up.
Well, I think to most of the staff it's just a job.
But what sane person would choose to lock up others for a living? What motivates them into such an unnatural occupation?
Well, as Mrs. Jackson would say, it's a sense of duty, a desire to serve. I think she was actually born in a prison.
Was she? That's interesting. You see, that's exactly the sort of thing I need to know. If I could just get my hands on a few of their personal files.
Well, if you're going to do an in-depth study, why don't you just concentrate on one particular subject?
I would, if I could get at the subject I wanted. Clinically speaking, Jim Fletcher would be ideal. Ex-regular Army NCO, demoted to a women's prison. Why?
As deputy governor, I'd hardly call that demoted.
Ah, but he'd think so. Especially the way he regards women. I could just get at his file.
Wouldn't the army have a file on him?
Of course. You clever girl. You're a genius.
How are you going to get at an army file?
Aha! There I have a contact.
I'm home. Now, who is that elegant lady?
You're late.
I stopped to buy you these.
Oh, a little friend in a florist shop.
Not true.
Was she blonde or brunette?
She was here, 6 feet tall with a big black moustache. Not my type. Don't you like them?
You never bring me flowers.
That is not all. Walnut creams. Now, don't tell me you've gone off walnut creams.
Carnations and walnut creams. What have you got on your conscience this time?
Nothing.
Oh, I forgot. You haven't got a conscience.
I'm just trying to tell you in my own bumbling and efficient way that I love you.
But what makes me flavour of the week?
Can't you believe that I've grown up at long last? That I realise my pot of gold isn't at the end of any rainbow, but here at my own front door.
Oh, an unfortunate choice of phrase, seeing you married me for my money.
For God's sake, Carol! Look, what do you want? My liver and lights on the kitchen table? I love you. I've always loved you. I always will love you.
And all the other women?
There are no other women.
There better not be, otherwise I warned you.
Can't you see, Carol? This insane jealousy of yours is driving us apart.
Well, what do you expect? It's all right for you at uni all day. I'm left here, wondering what you're doing, wondering when you're coming home.
I know. I'm sorry. Look, I'm trying to make amends, but you have to meet me halfway, love. Please?
There. Is that more comfortable, Lizzie?
Oh, yes.
Tell me again what he said.
Oh, I'll be okay if I don't race me motor.
Did he give you any more pills?
Yeah, they're in my locker.
You should have them where you can get at them. There. Now I'll get you some water to go with them.
I don't know what I'm going to do when you leave here, Edie.
Oh, You have lots of friends.
None that I can talk to properly. None who'll listen. I can remember before all of them was born. But none of them want to listen to you.
That's because they live in the present, Lizzie. We used to do that once. Miss Vernon brought it back to me. Any friends, she says. Any relations. I was so ashamed. 80 years and nothing to show for it, I thought. No kith or kin to give me house room.
Oh, cheer up, Ed. I'll ask him if I can adopt you, eh?
I believe you would. You got anybody waiting for you on the outside, Lizzie?
Not anymore. People have a habit of dying on you.
I had a friend called Horry. He died.
I tried to escape from here once with Frankie and Doreen. God knows what came over me. I had nowhere to go. Oh, I guess I'll end up here, what with me ticker and all.
The worst places. You get housed here and fed. You can watch TV with your mates. You won't be alone when you go.
You can get back in, Ed. I'll bet you can. I bet you can get back in easy.
How?
Bash a copper.
He'd have to be a slow copper.
How about starting a knocking shop?
Out you get.
You got a real way with women, Mr. Fletcher. Here, you got real close to Crabtree.
Get moving, Martin.
The silly bitch handed my money over without a murmur.
That money's where it belongs.
You still managed to line your pockets pretty smartly, didn't you?
Get lost.
Hey, Mr. Fletcher, it's Edie.
What's the matter?
I don't know. I don't think she's very well.
What's wrong with her?
I don't know. She's been like that since I woke up this morning. I can't get any sense out of her.
All right, Lizzie, you go and have your shower. I'll have a word with her.
We was having such a good laugh last night.
Now, what's the trouble, huh? Come on. If you don't tell me, I'm not going to be able to fix it, am I?
I'm sorry, Mr. Fletcher. Just this silly old woman being silly.
Now, what brought this on,
I was in Miss Vernon's office.
Was it something she said?
It was something she asked me.
Ah, come on now. You can't have a slip of a girl like that upsetting an old battler like you, eh, Edie?
What's going to become of me, Mr. Fletcher? What am I going to do?
Well, I'll tell you what you're going to do. First of all, you're going to get up, then you're going to have a nice hot shower, followed by a nice hot breakfast, and I'll have a word to Miss Vernon. We can't have her upsetting my best girl now, can we? All right?
Ah, ships are passing the night again, eh?
Ships that pass in the early morning.
You're looking very happy. Why?
Looks like my parole will be through in a few weeks' time.
Oh, that's good. That's wonderful.
I still have to go before the parole board, but after that...
Goodbye to Wentworth forever, eh?
I hope so.
Well, lucky you.
Well, what's the matter with you? You aren't exactly chained and bound to the place.
The junior partner in a practice is always chained and bound. Old Roberts won't do prison work, so guess who's the bunny?
I thought you found the work fulfilling.
I'm about ripe for a change, Karen. Must be more to medicine than taking Liz's pulse.
Well, why don't you start your own practice?
Have you any idea how much that costs?
Well, you don't have to set your sights on Toorak. What about the western suburbs? What about the country?
What about the country?
Oh, Karen thinks I should start a country practice.
Does she? Well, don't you think you better get moving? You'll be late for uni.
I still have
Look,
time.
Dr. Miller may want to get on with his work.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wouldn't want to keep him from his duty.
What would I ever do without you, Meg?
Hello? Tom? No, my husband's at uni. Who's this?
Has the postman been yet?
Who is this?
The postman's bringing you a little prezi, Mrs. Burton. Something that'll really make your day. There's a letter with it. Read it.
Are you a friend of Tom's?
The old tomcats? Oh, yes. A very intimate friend, as you'll see when you open your prezi. The letter will tell you what I want. Do read it, because if you ignore it, our tomcat's career at the uni will be well and truly over.
Who is this?
I'm trouble. Just you ask Tom.
Hello? Tom?
Hello, darling. What is it?
I've just had a call from one of your girlfriends. She has plans to wreck your career, it seems.
Some teenage nutcase. Don't worry about it.
She's sending me something through the mail. Do you know what it is?
Carol, don't open it. Wait till I come home.
You do know what it is. Well, the postman should be here by about 10. I'll keep a watch out for him. Tomcat.
Carol, if you love me, don't open that package.
Is it a bomb?
Yeah. Yes, it's a bomb.
Oh, well, I'd better call the police to defuse it then.
No, don't get the police.
It's not a bomb, is it? It's something that will compromise my darling husband. Photographs. Yes, it's got to be photographs. Oh, I'm going to see you in action, am I, darling, with one of your little whores.
Carol, look, I'm coming home.
Yes, you'd better. If you want me to subsidise your little luxuries any longer. I want to find out about this little bitch. Who she is. Where she is. Because I'm going to track her down. And when I find her, I'll kill her. Tomcat.
Sit down, Mrs. Martin. We haven't met. I'm Jean Vernon, the Regional Services Officer.
What's that when it's at home?
It means that I arrange rehabilitation programs, amongst other things, and sometimes I follow my cases through as a parole officer.
No, I'm one of your cases.
I'm going to try and help.
It took your time. I've been here 6 weeks.
Oh, let's say I try to help as much as my workload will allow. I see you've been transferred to D Block. Now, what particularly would you like to do during your stay in prison?
Get out?
Let's try be a bit more constructive.
Look, why ask me what I'd like to do? D Block's the same as anywhere else. There's only the laundry and the kitchen. The garden's been dug to death.
There are study courses, you know. You could learn to type.
Oh, big deal.
Think about it. Here's a list of alternatives. Maybe one of them could prove useful to you when you get out. Well, take it.
Got anything on poisoning?
That sort of attitude is not going to help.
No, neither's anything else. We had our chance and we blew it. Jim Fletcher made sure I've got nothing else to look forward to. Can I go?
If you want to.
If you want the negatives, it'll cost you $5,000. Tomcat is to bring the money to Kings Park tonight at 7:15 precisely. Love from you-know-who, Tom darling.
May I sit down?
Please yourself.
I'm sorry about this morning. Not one of my better days.
I didn't realise I was interfering.
Hey, you're quite right. I shouldn't have been loitering around reception.
Oh, nor should Karen Travers.
Well, that was my fault. I kept her talking.
Well, she knew she had a bus to catch.
Yes, I do.
Is it true you're thinking of taking up a country practice?
Well, not exactly being used to my full capacity, am I? Most of the ailments here are psychosomatic anyway. They'd be better off with a good psychologist rather than a doctor.
Well, Peter Clements is hanging around us like a bad smell. I don't think he's an unmitigated blessing.
No, I said a good psychologist.
Ah, so you've come round to my way of thinking.
I've been watching him at his manoeuvres. He uses people like disposable tissues. I don't think he really cares for anyone, not even himself.
Well, he's not the only one around here. Did you hear about Jim Fletcher?
Yes, I heard he'd been suspended. I didn't believe it.
Well, it's true, all right. He did it all for the money. He's a cold fish. Doesn't care for anybody.
Ah, so you're back. I've been looking for you.
I do have things to do outside the prison.
Yeah, it's what you do inside that concerns me. What did you say to upset Mrs. Wharton?
Old Edie? I didn't.
Well, something that happened in this office yesterday really upset her.
Oh, so that's it. I told her that she was being released on Monday. But I don't know why I upset her.
Well, you wouldn't have if you treated her properly. I mean, she's not a wharfie, you know. She happens to be old and feeble.
I don't need you to point that out. Why this touching concern for a prisoner? I thought they were all scum as far as you're concerned.
Mrs. Wharton requires special consideration because of her age.
Oh, I see. And the others don't require any consideration at all. I take it that you assume that old age naturally confers innocence. The older you get, the purer you get. Huh. That's one for the psychiatrists.
Mrs. Wharton shouldn't be at the mercy of jumped-up little uni graduates who ought to know better. You damned academics, you're all the same.
At least I treat the women in here as human beings, not stepping stones to make an easy buck.
What are you getting at?
Denise Crabtree's the name, in case you've forgotten.
That woman made her living by exploiting men. I don't see anything wrong in exploiting her.
Oh, and you really needed that 30 pieces of silver.
That reward was there for anyone to earn it. Now, I agree my methods were unconventional, but if I'd gone by the book, that money would still be in the wrong hands.
Justifying yourself, Mr. Fletcher.
I don't need to justify myself. I don't get my kicks by frightening little old ladies.
Carol! Carol! Carol, are you there?
Love from you-know-who, Tom, darling.
God, if she finds her...